Hello everybody, welcome to State of the Race, USA Presidential Election 2024, September 23, 2024. Today we're talking about Harris gaining from the front states in Pennsylvania, the second assassination attempt on Donald Trump, the title race in the state of Texas, and the risk for Donald Trump in North Carolina, strategy claiming to be a black Nazi. And there's also noise in the Midwest and in Georgia, right-wing election board members approve a new rule for candidate and is wondering if this is legit. So, first, before we start into the details, we need 270 electoral votes to see a winning candidate. And these are the results that we have now today. Surprise! There is no clear winner. I repeat, no clear winner. Kamala Harris has now 260 electoral votes. If we would vote today, previously she had 241 votes. In comparison to Donald Trump, lost ground, 258 votes, previously 278. So he lost the election at a current state. We don't know what will happen. Maybe he will gain ground after the assassination attempt, but this is not wondering because nothing has pierced his ear. Okay, this is not a bad joke, but honestly, this can have an effect. As we can see, we have two tied races. And these are, as you can see here, in the state of Nevada and we have the state of Georgia. Both are tied. Both candidates are on the same level based on the data that I have gained for you. Then let's see where we are. So recent events. This is also important. Let's see what we have. First of all, as I mentioned it, second assassination attempt on Donald Trump on Trump International Golf Club. An individual was hiding on his golf club for almost 12 hours or more and was armed with a gun. But he wasn't able to shoot and was then, after trying to escape, arrested by law enforcement officers. According to Donald Trump himself, it was only the law enforcement who tried to shoot the possible assassinator. Then we have this gentleman who claims to be a black Nazi. He is a protege of Donald Trump in North Carolina, and while using online adult entertainment websites, he made several comments, among others, that he's a black Nazi and several other things about around transgender people whose movies he was watching. Then Kamala Harris told Oprah Winfrey that she is a gun owner and, quote, that if somebody will enter her house, she will shoot him. This is an interesting move because, as we always know, that Democrats are always being, or the people claim that they will take the guns from the gun owners. But here we have a president, or possible president, who is a gun owner and who's also using that she would use it. And she's also a woman, so this is an interesting new development. I can't remember the last president or presidential candidate who claimed that he or she has a gun. Then let's go to the numbers, because numbers tell you more about everything that you see. First of all, popular vote. This is almost interesting. Harris Walz campaign has 58.2 million potential voters. Trump Vance have 54.2. And then we have undecided voters. This number is slightly going down. We see that there are 2.2 million undecided voters in America. States with more than 4% undecided voters are Colorado, Maryland, Minnesota, Ohio, and Virginia. And there's no lone race and lone star. In comparison to last week, Harris gained 3% in Texas, now trailing Trump by 4%, who lost 2% in Texas. This is what we can see about the popular vote. As you can see, Donald Trump and Mr. Vance have 48.2%. Kamala Harris and Mr. Walz have 51.8%. By the way, if you're looking for third party candidates, they have less than 1%. And here we can see the gains and losses over the last week. And okay, as you can see, in Nebraska, Donald Trump is winning. He not winning, he is gaining a lot. While Kamala Harris is losing, well, let's say 5%, around 5%, 6% in Nebraska, and also in Oklahoma, and a little bit in Arkansas. But this is no surprise. These are red states, and so far this is something that you can expect. Where she is winning big, this is in the state of Utah. This is surprising because Utah, the moment state, their people are mostly Republican. But well, we will see how this is changing, or if there is some change, because we know, for example, Mitt Romney, senator of the state of Utah, also has his beef with Donald John Trump. Then we can see the gains in Maine, gains in Florida, and for Donald Trump, for example, we see gains in Alaska, also a red state, home of Sarah Palin. We see this gain in Arkansas, also not a surprise. And then we can also see here that he's also gaining ground in Utah. So this is almost equalizing. Then West Virginia, coal miner state, also very clear, I guess. And in Vermont, home of Senator Bernie Sanders, this is a bit surprising, but won't change the race too much. Then let's go on. We see tied races. In Georgia, Georgia is tied with 48 to 48, 4% undecided voters. We then have Nevada, and okay, this should be NV, I beg your pardon, is tied with 49 to 49, 2% undecided voters. Then we see the battleground states. Here's also a little surprise. First of all, we see Florida is now among the list of states with less than 3%, or almost equal or less than 3%. So is Florida a swing state again? We don't know. In the past, Florida was merely a red state, specifically since voting for Donald Trump in the last two elections. But almost interesting is that we can see this line here. Georgia, as we know, is tied. Nevada is tied. Pennsylvania and Michigan, there Kamala Harris is leading. Wisconsin, there Donald Trump is leading. Same with Florida, of course, and in Arizona. But this is very close. It's too close to call, and we would be in election night. Then we can see here the map with the battleground states. Here we can see Florida, we can see Arizona, we can see Wisconsin. Michigan and Pennsylvania are Kamala Harris states at the current state. And we can see here tied Nevada and Georgia. And the battleground state numbers, we have 107 electoral votes that are highly contested. Battleground states now have 107 votes. This is almost the same that we have last week with 106. But Florida, as we know, has many, and repeat, many electoral votes. Yeah, and Florida, as I already said, usually a red state in recent elections, specifically with a very popular governor, Ron DeSantis, who also contested Donald Trump in the Republican primaries. But maybe this could change again with a voting of Kamala Harris. Let's see. Then, more than a fifth of all eligible voters in the United States are living in the battleground states. To be more precise, it's 22.16%, according to last election's eligible voters. And if you're interested in the complete numbers, here are the numbers for all states, including all states plus the District of Columbia.